I always like to say, a hand grenade was just thrown into your marriage.
After a couple experiences an affair, is recovery even possible? I mean, is there a way for a couple really to heal and recover from an affair?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I truly believe that. I've had so many couples, they come in so wounded, and especially using the Imago skills and tools and doing that work, that they end up having a stronger marriage. They take what they thought would destroy the relationship, kind of referring back to the fire.
Okay.
But you know that it can shape and it can mold, and if using tools, seeking help, you ask how to do the work.
Right.
You have to be ready to forgive.
Absolutely.
You have to have patience, and you have to have guidance. You have to have consciousness and intentionality, and it is very possible. Some of my couples have the most beautiful, powerful, spiritual relationships, and a new relationship. You know, the vows are broken, but there's a new commitment, and it's absolutely
that makes their marriage stronger, even though an affair and they had the betrayal and they had all the heartache and broken feelings, but they can emerge even stronger.
And they have to know it takes time, but there is hope.
Yeah.
There is hope.
I always like to say, a hand grenade was just thrown into your marriage, okay? So it's in smithereens. Now you have the opportunity to pick each piece up, decide what you want to put into it, and start building up a new foundation for a much better and a much more intentional and conscious relationship. And it's awesome, because these couples that work through and get to the other side have stronger relationships, I think, than most couples.
It's like what kills you, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That can be true.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the piece of the healing has to do with what we talked about earlier, that Helen and I have made a sort of a centerpiece in the Imago conversation, which is curiosity. That, as we've said earlier, people who are experiencing feeling connected don't have affairs. So one thing if somebody comes, they're disconnected.
So the answer then, if you have had an affair, you can recover, but what you need to do is feel connected.
Is you got to feel connected, and one of the ways to do that that I like to do is to say, if things had been just right in the relationship, what it would have looked like, and you wouldn't have had an affair. So it's sort of a way of rooting out the missing piece in the relationship, and the answer to that is always if we'd felt closer, if I'd have felt more like I was seen by my partner, if we'd spent more time together. It's always a relational issue. The affair is a symptom of the relationship not being vitalized by contact, information, and
heart and emotions rather than the sex and the other stuff that people often tend to blame it on.
Yeah, right.
That makes sense.
I think of an affair as an attempt at love, but it's a spurious love. That inevitably the couple's journey is that two people are attracted to each other across the crowded room sometimes, and they're drawn to each other, and they think they're with the partner of their dreams, and inevitably that becomes the partner of their nightmares. And so the job and so that always happens, and so the job of a couple is to grow intimacy over the years, over the days, weeks, months, and years, every day, every week, every month, grow into deeper intimacy. And so affair can really be a catalyst, a wake-up call that, whoops, we aren't. And so when they come back, learning to discover the otherness of your partner.
I love that word, otherness. Otherness and curiosity.
And realize there's a whole world, a whole universe inside your partner that you haven't discovered yet.
Right.
And beginning to go on that journey to discover why it is your partner feels the way they do, thinks the thoughts they think. Why do they think that instead of that judgment, but getting curious?
It takes so much forgiveness, right, to get there, I think.
And building trust.
And building, you have to rebuild a whole lot of trust.
I just want to say that before any of this can happen, both people have to be willing to do the work. Because usually when there's been an affair, one person is the wounded and the other is the perpetrator. And the only way to have the recovery is if both people are curious not only about the partner but also about themselves.
You know, we maintain our yards, we maintain our air filter.
I love where you're going.
We maintain
true.
things that are important to us. We maintain things that may go into disrepair.
Right.
And sadly, people do not maintain their relationships. And that intentionality is so important. If you want to keep it running, you have to keep taking care of it. And if you don't want it to crash, take it off autopilot, pay attention to what's going on.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here, but the great news is that not only can you recover from affair, but it can actually make you stronger. At the same time, to avoid an affair, the real key is to be truly intentional in your relationship and to take the kind of steps that you take to take care of your garden, to take care of your car, to take care of your teeth, all the things you do proactively to take care. That's really what your relationship requires to avoid an affair.